Studio B. This is your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton, teamed up with Jason Shepard. We've seen the light, and we now welcome in Ty Detmer, the Heisman Trophy winner, once again to BYU Sports Nation. Ty, great to have you on the show. How are you?
Yeah, doing good. Great to be with you guys.
All right, let's just go ahead and start with the Alumni Game. One, I'm super happy that you have agreed to play. Can't wait to watch you sling it in LaVell Edwards Stadium again. How much convincing and coaxing did it take to get you to agree to do this?
Well, I had a good excuse not to be there last year. My daughter had a baby, so. But then after watching it, hearing Max rave about it, I was excited to see some of the old teammates and get back up to Provo, and not super excited to play in the game, I don't think, more to be around the guys.
Well, that may answer the question then, Ty, because like last year, Max brought a playbook. I mean, he was dialed in. He took it serious. How competitive are you going to be when you hit the field? That's the question.
Well, you get competitive. I mean, you don't want to go out there and lay an egg. I threw last week one time. I think I'm good throwing once a week. Anything more than that, it's definitely sore the next day. But Max and we've been out there. He's excited to be back, and I told Jack, I'm like, I'm not playing against Mac. I got to be on Max's team. So Steve's gonna back out on you. He's a big talker, but he's gonna back out. So you better find somebody else. So I'm glad John and Brandon will be there.
Fantastic. Ty Detmer is with us on BYU Sports Nation. As you prepare for something like this and think about the prospect of throwing the football in some competitive fashion in front of fans again at LaVell Edwards Stadium, what type of emotions come to mind?
Well, I think, a lot of the memories kind of flood back for you. I know being out there, as a coach and walking on the field the first couple times with the crowd and the lights and all those things, it brought back a lot of memories. And it'll obviously be a little different, being out there with just no pads on or anything. But a lot of great memories, and I'm sure there'll be a little bit of that come back, and some of the memorable plays and games that you had while you were there.
Ty, you mentioned that the part that you're really looking forward to is just to be back with the guys and former teammates. And, I mean, that's really what this is for. Obviously, the fans, they have the opportunity to see, their favorite players out on the field. So there's that part for the fans. But, what's this like as a former player that this is happening, that Kalani and the staff have gotten together to bring this back and put this together? It's pretty cool. Everybody that played in it last year raved about the experience. What's that like that this is available for you guys as former players?
Yeah, I think the playing part of it's better left back in the 90s. But, they've done a great job of embracing the alumni, having guys feel welcome back at any time. And this just adds to it. It's fun to get everybody together. And the thing Max was talking about probably more than anything was, the lunch that they had with all the guys there and seeing teammates. And so I'm excited about that part of it and looking forward to, having those opportunities.
Ty, your former teammate Derwin Gray has poked fun at himself about being the old man coming back for the Alumni Game. Who's technically the oldest player? Are you the oldest player that's going to suit up and play in this Alumni Game, or is it Dewey?
Well, I'm definitely older than Dewey, so I'm 55 now, so I don't know who else is coming that would be older, but the good thing for me, I don't have to run. There's no rushing the quarterback. Dewey might still have to run a little bit, so that's a game changer.
Okay, because you are 55, Ty, does that mean you're going to attempt 55 passes? That kind of lines up, right?
No, I've always said if you attempt that many passes, you're losing the game. So hopefully we're not. Max he's talking like he's just going to sit back and call the plays and have the playbook. And I'm like, knowing Max, he's going to want to be in there. So I'm fine taking a couple series here and there and then letting Max have the rest.
All right, Ty, if I set the over-under on soft tissue injuries at 4, you taking the over or under?
And I think I saw the rosters. There's some young guys that can probably still run. The Juergens boys are coming. Colby Pearson, all those guys are young enough. Aleva Hefo. But I think it's probably going to be up to 6. I think that's a pretty.
Okay, so you mentioned some of the guys that you've looked up and down the rosters. There's somebody maybe you've zeroed in like, all right, I want to throw to this guy. Is there any? Can we see any combination start to show up at the Alumni Game?
Yeah, I think definitely. I'm smart enough to know to throw to the young guys. You'll get a couple of the old tight ends in there running their little stick route and things like that, the security blanket. But if you're ever going to unleash one, it's going to have to be to one of the young guys. So they'll probably outrun my arm at this point now, though. You got to have a Hail Mary of 60 plus. It's going to be max. I'm out. So, I don't know if there's a connection. Reno's going to be begging for the ball, so I'm sure I'll have to throw to him a few times.
The great Ty Detmer is with us on BYU Sports Nation as we now turn from the Alumni Game preview to actual BYU quarterbacks that are, one, in Jaren Hall's case, pushing to the NFL draft, and then Keaton Slovis coming in to lead BYU now. Let's start with Jaren Hall, Ty. You know Jaren, you've worked with him, you've been around him, and you've watched him in the Combine now, and obviously been aware of what he's done in the Senior Bowl practices lead up. What do you expect from Jaren Hall as the NFL draft approaches, and what type of quarterback will an NFL team get if they draft Jaren Hall?
Well, this is the time of year where I know everybody's like in awe of the athleticism of the kid from Florida and things like that, but you go back and you look what they've done on the field and their composure, their leadership abilities, and if you start really looking at it, and that's Jaren Hall, the character on and off the field, the leadership in the locker room, they'll get that type of guy. And so, you hope teams don't get so caught up in the guy, having a 41-inch vertical and running a 4.4. Can he throw the ball? Can he lead a team? Can he be that guy that you're hoping to have as a franchise quarterback? And, I think Jaren's proven that. He's got the athleticism. He can make all the throws. Hopefully for him, he gets at the right spot and the right fit, and it's a system that he's comfortable in.
Well, the guy that's looking to follow in Jaren's footsteps as the starting quarterback for BYU and then hopefully be in this exact same position next year going to the NFL is Keaton Slovis. Certainly know his pedigree and where he started and how his career started. What did you make of him being the guy that chose to come to BYU and lead this team into the Big 12?
I know he played at Pitt, and I didn't see Pitt play many games this year, but, he's a guy that's experienced. He's Arizona kid, so he's kind of a out from the West and probably excited to be back in the western part of the country. But he's a guy that's obviously mature and led a team before, and so there's probably not as many unknowns there with him as there would be with a guy just taking over right from scratch. So it's a great opportunity to get a guy that's proven, won a lot of games, and now he's got to come in and get to know the teammates and become that locker room leader that, the quarterback needs to be.
Ty, it's no secret that very often a team goes as the quarterback goes. So when you think about Keaton Slovis and this BYU football team, but making the jump to the Big 12, what's a fair expectation for the Cougars in year one of Power 5 play when they're going to take on 10 Power 5 teams?
Yeah, it takes a little time, the recruiting, everything has got to kind of come into place over the next, few years. So you look at Utah, and when they got into the Pac-12, are they still calling it the Pac-12? I don't know, but it took them, a few years to get caught up to speed, and I think for BYU it'll be a similar type of deal. You look at the schedule this year; it's an exciting schedule, a lot of tough games, and so you kind of got to run the gauntlet and figure out how to do that year in and year out. And so that'll take a little bit of an adjustment. And I think within 3 or 4 years, they're competing for a Big 12 championship.
Ty, one of your former teams in the National Football League may soon have a new starting quarterback, and I'm talking about the Packers. Obviously, a lot of talk about Aaron Rodgers maybe making his way to the New York Jets, and that obviously has ramifications for former BYU quarterback Zach Wilson. Number one, do you like that fit with Rodgers in New York? And then number two, is there a chance, because obviously everybody wants Zach to succeed, and I know he wants to start, is this something that could actually be really good for him long term?
You know, I think first of all for Rodgers, I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit old school. I always hated to see guys leave. I hated to see Brett go to New York and then on to Minnesota. You know, it's just different, you know, and it's a little bit of a different feel than the guy that's been there for 16 years or whatever it's been. But, you know, I think for the Jets, they get a guy that they know can play and can compete. And how do you pass up an opportunity like that if it falls into your lap? So for Zach, you know, I think for him, it's an opportunity, you know, to sit behind Aaron and learn from him if that's the case. If it's somewhere else, it's an opportunity for a fresh start. So either way, I think it's a good situation for Zach to have either a year or two to sit and learn, pick his brain. And then if not, and he goes somewhere else, it's an opportunity for a fresh start.
Ty, you did this, and to your credit, when the opportunity came for you in Philadelphia to become a starting quarterback for a few years and took a team to the playoffs, you did it. But I'm sure it takes and requires a lot of patience. And so what would, if Zach Wilson is the backup to Aaron Rodgers or somebody else, and then Jaren Hall, we feel like is going to be a backup wherever he lands, what advice would you give to those guys about the proper mindset to carry and in being that backup role as they take on their NFL careers?
Yeah, I think, you know, just being ready at any moment. The coaches need to trust you. So you got to put the same time and energy into it as if you're the starter. I remember Billy Joe Hobart out of Washington. He was with the Saints and had to go in and play and wasn't prepared. He admitted after the game, like, I didn't prepare like I should have this week. And that was the kiss of death. I don't think you ever heard from him again after that game. And so for those guys, it's, you know, when you get to be my age, you wanted to be the guy, you wanted to be playing, but now it's like, you know what, being the backup was a pretty good gig. You know, you're able to put some money in the bank, walk around and chase the grandkids. So it's not all bad. So, you know, go into it, take it serious and be ready for your opportunity and just, you know, buy in and prove to the coaches they can trust you. And there's an opportunity for a long career and who knows where it leads down the road.
At 55 years young, we cannot wait to watch you play in the Alumni Game, Ty. Congratulations on everything you got going with your quarterback training. And speaking of, we do need to ask you about that before you go, Ty. What's the latest on your professional front, and then what do you have coming up in the next few months?
Yep, still the head coach there at American Leadership Academy in Queen Creek, coaching with Max Hall. Got old man Workman's probably watching this show as well. He tunes in every Friday, I think. But really enjoying the opportunities I've had there and the young men. And we've moved up to 6A. They move you based on success in Arizona, so we're playing too well. They keep bumping us up with the 4A enrollment. We'll be playing with the big boys now, so we're excited about that and where the program's headed. So it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, love to hear it. Coach Detmer with us on BYU Sports Nation. Ty, thanks for the time. We'll see you in Provo. Can't wait to watch you sling it in LaVell Edwards Stadium again.
Thanks, Ty.
All right, thank you.
Ty Detmer on BYU Sports Nation, the Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, humble as always.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.